Everybody, this is, as you all know, the Extraordinary Men Podcast, and you guys know who I am. And if you don't know who I am, then let me tell you who I am. My name is Phil Jones, or Mike Jones, however you guys know me personally or professionally, and I am the host of the Extraordinary Men Podcast. I was about to say something else, and I didn't, so I can't hold me to it. All right, so you guys know the greatest co-host on the face of the planet, Double A Mike. That's
Double
a
A,
double.
Mike. I
Well,
like
that's a double line. That's a double entendre too.
right? I like that. What's
All
going on, y'all, man? This is Midas. Make sure you put a king in front of that. Let's go.
all right, all right. So here's what we're about to talk about today, and I want everybody that's listening to this to pay attention. We're going twice hard, half long. Pause.
Mhm.
So when we say this, I need you guys to listen because there's some very valuable points that are going to be made here. Siphon it as you will. We are encouraging restitching. We are encouraging reposting. We are encouraging sharing, not just liking and subscribing, but actually taking some of the nuggets out of this and applying it toward your life. Please, thank you. Please, thank you. Please,
Yeah.
thank you. For everybody who comes in is going to be reading the chats and stuff like that. We're going to push that to after the 30-minute mark because we want to get through the content. So just let us go ahead and get through it. You can leave your comments, and we're going to come back to them as time progresses.
Yes, sir.
All right. So,
Put some more sauce in the ribs.
so
Let's
Midas the
let's
King, are you
add
ready to
three more
go?
pleases to that.
So
Three
Midas,
more
so,
pleases.
so Midas the King, you ready to get into it?
Let us get it. Let's get it.
All right. So the concept that we're talking about today is a very, very. It can be controversial depending on who's listening. But let's just
Mhm.
go ahead and get right into the Google facts. Everything is a business. Every single thing. This podcast, yes, we are having fun with it. Yes, we are enjoying ourselves. Yes, we are entertaining ourselves with this. But let's face it, right? This is a business. We're creating something and we're hoping that this thing takes off and becomes something bigger than what it is because we want to utilize this platform for a reason. If not just for monetization purposes, but to be able to share a message that we hope is going to resonate with people by and large. And if it does that, great. If it doesn't, we know that it's sitting in the atmosphere and our voices have been heard and they have been put out there. So we have done some level of our work. But there's a reason why. So when it comes down to the term business, let's get into what the definition of the word business is, shall we?
Real quick.
Go ahead.
How was your day?
You know, my day has been good. My day has been really good.
How
I
are the
have,
workouts coming along?
you know what? Every single day, I'm doing anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour in the gym, trying to get my health back in order. You know, my fat belly has become a semi-fat belly. You know what I'm saying? I am literally sitting back feeling like I'm seeing the fruit of my labor. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not a massive dramatic change for it's only been like 11 days, but at the same time, the diet has been going well. I did cheat one day. I did cheat and I regretted that. But nonetheless, I just went harder with it. I'm drinking more water. I got these gallons of water that I'm walking around drinking every single day. Yeah, the little bottles ain't enough. Like I need to be able to
I
like take.
know. I
Yeah, I got
know.
to.
This
I'm talking
this is
about.
a pod. This is a podcast bottle.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you ain't running to the bathroom halfway through the broadcast. I
Mm-hmm.
get it. But yeah, so I mean, it's like I feel better. I feel more motivated, and the more that I do, the more motivated I get. I actually just went and bought a jump rope.
Mm. What's the
So
weight?
for those who don't know, they say that a 10-minute jump rope is the equivalent of a 30-minute run. So you get more out of a jump rope session than you'll get out of a run in cardio.
Is it weighted?
Nope. No, just regular jump rope. It should have been weighted because it gets tangled up a lot, but I mean
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty good at it. So
Word. All right. So definition of business.
no, how's your day, brother? You
Oh,
don't just skip over that.
my bad. It was pretty fantastic. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, it was fantastic because I got to see another day. But however, it was boring because I was on the phone literally all day, calling everywhere around the United States trying to find contractors for this Walgreens project that I got going on. So, I mean, from New Jersey to California to Texas to New Hampshire to everywhere, Michigan, Wisconsin, Delaware, everywhere. I've been calling all day trying to find contractors to cover these projects. So here I am again on the podcast and more talking.
Shout out to that.
But that's life, you know what I'm saying? But I'm actually doing something that I enjoy now. So let's get it.
All right. So let's get directly into it. That I'm going to share my screen. Boom. Can you see?
Man, that is clear.
Yes. About time I finally figured it out. All right. So right down here, the term business is defined as a person's regular occupation, profession, or trade. Or number two, the practice of making one's living by engaging in commerce. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend time
You,
talking
you,
about both of them in a sense, but
you
it's
know
going to
what,
be
Mike?
more so.
Ooh.
But it's going to be more so along the lines of number two.
I was gonna say, well, never mind. Then since we only focus on number two, then that's
No,
cool.
those I said both, but go ahead, get your
I
point
was
out.
gonna say, like, for business purposes, let's give like the actual definition of a person so people understand exactly what a person is, because on in a regular world, person is viewed as me and you, like a regular person. But in a business world, a person means something totally different. In law, it means something totally different. So I think that should be talked about too, if you want to go that route. Let me grab my phone to turn it off.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Perfect definition. Let me know when you're ready for me to post.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get it.
All right.
Just putting my
So
phone on silent. All right.
the term person shall be construed to mean and include an individual, a
Mm-hmm.
trust, a state, partnership, association, company, or corporation.
Correct.
Here is in Cornell law, here is the legal U.S. Code, 26 U.S. Code 7701, that defines what a person is by law. So we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about a person taking part in business. A person can qualify as any of these things that you see before you. That's a nugget.
That's a golden nugget.
That's a nugget. That's
Commerce. Commerce law.
you said what?
Commerce law.
So why do we bring all this to the center stage? Why are we talking about this? Oh, you guys always talking about money. Oh my God. Okay, let's talk about this. I want you guys to understand something, like really wrap your mind around what I'm getting ready to say to you. Everything around you is a business. This chain that I have on, the link pattern, the charm on it, the ring with the designs, somebody made this and crafted this with the intention of making money from it. Somebody created the variation of cars because somebody wanted variety to choose from. Mac PC, blinds or shades or curtains, whatever you want, somebody made it. Animals are some of the most abundant creatures on the planet, and yet somebody decided to domesticate them and put them up for sale. Cats, you can find a stray cat damn near anywhere. Yet you can go to the pet store and go pay for a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Pound full of them. Hey, come on, buy this cat. Come on, buy this dog. Come on, buy this animal and take it home and feed it and give it a home for the rest of its days up until it passes away.
Hmm.
I've never seen a hamster in real life. I've never seen a hamster. I've never seen a gerbil in real life. I've never seen these things. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right. I've never seen a hamster, a guinea pig. I've never seen these things recurring through history ever in my life. I don't know where these things come from. I don't know if they've been genetically modified. I have no clue. All I know is the fact that you can go to any pet store and you can find these things in abundance for some reason.
I truly believe a guinea pig was genetically modified because I got 2 of them, and they're like giant hamsters, but they act like dogs.
I mean, my point is
it's cute and weird at the same time.
Well, my point in saying this is the fact that, and I want to stay serious on this for a minute.
Mm-hmm,
The bottling of water, which is like the most abundant resource on the planet, the fact that we can rationalize going to the store and purchasing water is the thought around it. To where I am buying the world's most abundant resource for pay. And I can justify doing so for some reason. So when we look at business, they turn anything and everything into a business. If you can conceive it, if you can think it, somebody is going to try to make money off of it. Mm-hmm. As I gave the example. So because they put a name and a logo on this shirt here, they charged a certain amount of money just because of the name and the logo. Whereas if this was a blank green t-shirt, it would cost considerably less money than what I paid for it. So that shirt that you have on, whether it's a cotton, a polyester, a blend, a mix, whatever went into it, the better the quality of the shirt, or the better the material you used to make the shirt, or the process that went into making the shirt, where the shirt was made, how many of them were manufactured, was it hand sewn, was it stitched and mass produced, plays a factor in how much this thing costs. So when we look at things from a business point of view, you have to understand that there's nothing at all that is on purpose. I mean, that's on accident. There's nothing at all. Somebody said, let me turn metal into jewelry. Somebody said, let me turn these fragments of rocks that reflect off the sun ever so nicely into jewelry. And let me see how much the consumer will pay for it. Mm-hmm. From the gasoline, the natural oil, that's the fossil fuels, whatever the situation may be, the natural gas, anything under the sun, somebody had the idea to make it for profit, to make a for-pay situation out of it. You have to think about it. A non-for-profit is somebody charging money to do nice things.
Yeah.
When you dumb it down all the way around the board, somebody is making a living to do nice things. I'm asking for donations in exchange for doing something humane. Boys and Girls Club. Mm-hmm. Helping the homeless. Yeah, it shouldn't be the homeless.
Ronald's house and all that, yeah.
Shriners. Sick kids and children's hospitals. Mm-hmm. Logically speaking, it's just like, who wouldn't want to do something for a kid with cancer?
Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Like who in their right mind says, hey man, that's unfortunate what happened to that 4-year-old, but ain't my son, screw him. I don't think that there's very many people who would think logically about the fact that if I had a means of helping a sick child in need, that I would. Mm-hmm. But somebody somewhere turned it into a business. So to facilitate the donations, to orchestrate the money that goes into cancer research and AIDS research and COVID research and all these different things, somebody created a middleman method to earn money in the process of facilitating basic human good things. All the pieces inside of my cell phone, every single piece from the glass to the motherboard to all the little components within the motherboard, the processor, whatever the circumstances may be, they slap like at bare bones, you see an Apple logo. Behind closed doors, you see a screen, you see a camera, you see all these little trinkets and pieces that are all individual businesses that were merged together to make a cell phone. And then those pieces individually to put all that stuff together is a fraction of what you are charged to have it. But the consumer quality is by convincing you that there's some massive amount of value to having this item. It's not even based off scarcity. It's based off of, really ain't even based off supply and demand. It's just based off of the fact that, well, I guess it is. It's based off the fact that there's always going to be a huge demand because there's a select part of the public that always want to be in the in crowd. They always want to be in the know. What's your thoughts on this?
I like that you mentioned the cell phone, because mentioning the cell phone, think about it on a scale, or in a sense of, think of all the other businesses that was built around the cell phone. You know what I'm saying? So the cell phone itself, in turn, is making money. A whole nother business. So you got cell phone cases, you got screen protectors, you got stylus pens, you got different color the camera covers for privacy. You name it. You know what I'm saying? They even got the little straps that go on your wrist, the little things that you could put on the back of the phone and carry it with your finger.
You got the little patch to go on your arm.
The patch that go on your arm. So now clothing companies are producing pockets and sleeves and stuff for the cell phone. So it's like the cell phone itself built a whole other industry around accommodating the device itself. So you got to think about it like that too.
I mean, aftermarket chargers. I mean, even just the introduction of the Bluetooth, just for being able to have a Bluetooth device. You have radios and stuff, so you can transmit the frequency and stuff back and forth, so that you don't have to have the auxiliary cords and things. Like, there's so many different things that were introduced that were spawned off of one idea that created other ideas. So, like, you think about the real estate market and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, cool. The common thing people think about is, let's flip houses. Let's just buy houses and flip them, or buy houses and rent them out or whatever. But then there's the lumber industry, there's the aluminum industry, there's the siding, the stucco people. There's the flooring industries, the carpet, the marble, the hardwood, the linoleum. All these different industries that are built, the roofing companies, the people who create the shingles or create the ceramic tile that goes on the top of the roofs and things. Like, there's all these different industries that go into just the building and maintenance of a home. And then on top of it, not even just talking about the building, but let's get deeper into the maintenance. The roofing companies, the flood repair people, the house cleaners, the maid services. I mean, there's all different types of things that you could span widely, that literally one house, one idea of shelter created all of these different industries. I mean, you got to think about it: the clothing business, the furniture business, the food service business, everything. The size of the family that you have sometimes is predicated off the size of the house that you can afford. I mean, it's a lot to it.
I mean, and the different trades that, going back to the house, the different trades that came out of it. So you got the electrician's trade, you got the carpentry trade, you already mentioned the roofing trade, you got the painter's trade, you got the low voltage trade. Like, there's the plumbing, landscaping,
absolutely.
Bricklayers. There's so many trades, which are businesses that came or was built around shelter. So that was a really good example.
Yeah, and then it's like, one of the most interesting things, however, is the fact that we can look at that situation and say to ourselves, like, man, when you think about stuff, we don't always think about how broad the ideas, and how broad the opportunities are. It's not necessarily a one size fits all when you're dealing with business. When you're dealing with business, you have to understand the fact that every single thing, this camera, this microphone, the pop filter outside of the microphone. Why did I buy this microphone over the other microphone? What was the thing that this microphone did for my voice or for my vocal projection that the other guys couldn't do? And then what about the price range to get the best within the price range versus buying something that was super exuberant in price because it quote unquote has the best audio fidelity? These lighting systems that you have, the camera that I'm broadcasting through, even the streaming service that we're going through just to make sure that we can get this out to multiple platforms. There's a cost to all of it because somebody thought, somebody might want a podcast. Mm-hmm. And they might want to share this with their friends, family, and then people who they have no idea that exist on the planet. So they created nuances and started gaining a considerable share of the market share in order to provide a service that nobody else is providing by using cloud technology or whatever else in order to make these things happen.
We live in a fantastic world right now. You know what I'm saying? As far as being able to utilize your mind and try to seek and find and look for opportunities to put yourself in a better position. We don't live in no greater time than the information age. Live in an age where anything that you want to know, anything that you want to do, you can easily look it up. It's easily accessible, easily researchable. You can find it right in the palm of your hand, or head over to the neighbor's house. If you ain't got no internet or nothing, you can go next door. Somebody got some internet for you to be able to look up what you're trying to look up and find what you're trying to find for you to do what you want to do. You just got to think it up. The opportunities are everywhere. I was just talking to Mike earlier that I want to start getting into the tire business. You know what I'm saying? Every vehicle on the road, well, not every, but a majority of the vehicles on the road has 4 tires. That's 4 sales. That's 4 products that you're selling. So I definitely want to, start taking a stab at looking at that. Then you also have other industries that tires can go on. You got fire trucks. You got the big giant semi trucks. Then you got trailers. Then you got tractors and bulldozers and you know what I'm saying? Well, not bulldozers. They use metal. No, they do got the 2 back tires on the back. But anyway, there's so many other industries that you could jump into when it comes to tires, or looking at investment opportunities and maybe looking at commodities that are used almost on a daily basis. One, water, the plastic bottle that the water's in. And real quick before I continue, just looking at the bottle itself, you got the plastic, you got the wrapper around it, the label, that's a business. The cap, that's a business. The cap and the plastic bottle don't come from the same company. This is one company. The bottle is another company. The water itself is another company. The label is another company. So then the other business within the water is the delivery and the sales. So
you missed some very valuable things in there, like the ink provided to make the labels.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, the designer of the label.
Yeah.
And came from the printing company. So it's like there's like 6 or 7 different businesses just in the creation of the bottled water. That's not even talking about the company as a whole that may create other products.
But then the bottle itself also has this rib design, which that is another business because you have to print a die. You have to cast a die for the plastic to go in to be molded to that print design. So that's another business.
So with that being said, there's also a dark side to the concept of everything is a business. And this is the part that I really want a lot of people to pay attention to. Is because we may think a business in one way. And that way is probably a more traditional way of LLC, get started, whatever. But court is a business. Crime is a business. And just like we explained to you about the multifaceted layers of the housing industry, there's also a multifaceted layer of the prison industrial complex. drug game. If you sat there and you followed a cartel from the beginning to the end, and they've done documentaries on Netflix about this, so I'm not mentioning anything that's not known already. However, you have people in Peru and other countries that the leaves, the coca leaves that I think that's what you call them, but the leaves that are used to make cocaine are abundant where they are. And they're at home, poor villages, making this stuff, adding the fentanyl and everything like that and getting it prepared for the cartels. And they make small pieces of money on the back end by the cartels. Cartels transition it over. They make huge bucks to send it over into the United States and into other areas to sell. And there's a trail of massive amounts of money being made off of that one thing. So when we start talking about the vastness of the businesses that are also invested in that particular, in the drugs, obviously the DEA, the
So
FBI.
speaking of crime, Mike, and I kind of wanted to do a little research to figure out how much money the criminal industry is actually making each year. And according to Vanderbilt University, and this was based off research of 2017, I was trying to find something later than that, but from what I can research now, based on this research, is 800 million to 2 trillion each year dollars in crime.
So you have to understand that you don't even know how that number distribution is.
Mhm.
Because where there is crime, there has to be people who fight the crime. There has to be, if not for crime, you would not have a need for police officers. You would not have a need for lawyers. You wouldn't have a need for judges. You wouldn't have a need for a lot of these different substances, like the whole system that is embedded into crime. See, the first page and the first paragraph of any criminal justice book, entry level criminal justice book, is that where there is no crime established in a society, the society creates it. What that means is that the rules and the laws and certain things, as far as, like, for instance, drinking being the age of 21 in the United States, well, in Mexico and in Germany, I think it's 16. Don't directly quote me, but I do know that it's much earlier than what it is here in the US. How we prosecute certain things, to where it's like having a certain amount of marijuana at a point in time used to be a serious criminal offense at one point. Now, in a lot of states, it's like they catch you with anything less than the intent to sell, they'll take it from you, dump it out, and give you a citation and send you on your way.
Yeah.
So a great deal of how we operate in this society is that there are so many things that are directly linked into every aspect of what you see, from the marketing, the colors that are used in packaging of cigarettes and beers and foods, and the cartoon characters that are strategically designed for, like the Chester Cheetahs and the
Cereals.
yeah, I mean, it's like
Mhm.
Toucan Sam,
Mhm.
one of the best ever. The honeybee, the what's his name?
I
The
don't remember his
Cheerios
name.
bee.
Yeah.
I mean, strategically, all of these things are directly embedded into marketing. And marketing is intended for a specific audience. And that specific audience is to separate you from your money. That's why if you look at a car company and it's like you see the car that's driving off terrain, they're trying to attract a certain type of consumer. They're not looking for the luxury car people. They're looking for the off-road people, the people that are into the adventures, and the people that. But then when you see the Benz commercial where they're going up the East Side Highway, or they're driving through Manhattan or some major city in luxury and style and stuff, and you see the Lincoln commercial and the various other commercials that market luxury cars, they're marketing to a very specific audience That's who they want to buy their cars. Then when you look at more top tier vehicles, the Aston Martins, the Maseratis, Maybachs, certain tiers of vehicles, they don't have commercials at all. It's already understood and implied that you understand that you do not even inquire about these vehicles unless you are in the purchasing class who can entertain those vehicles.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, you have to really take into consideration that every aspect of what's going on is a business. Let's even look at a car. The leather that you have in the car, the manufacture of the steering wheel, the engine, the transmission, every component, the lights, every component of a vehicle is a completely different business, a completely different industry that are merged together in order to earn money.
All the way down to the nuts and bolts that lock it all together.
All the way down to the nuts and bolts. Whether they're tool and die makers, whether they're engineered in house, or whether they're ordered from somebody else's manufacturer at a cost. Every aspect of this is a business. And we have to really take into consideration, like the glasses that are on my face. Somebody designed these hoping for me to see them and pick them up and throw them on my face.
Mhm.
It wasn't just about me seeing, it's about me being able to see and enjoying the style of the glasses. I had to feel a way, I had to feel good in these glasses. They had to sell me on the idea that these glasses bring out the best features in my face, and that's why I buy.
Mhm. That's why they got the model there to show you.
But nonetheless,
They got the
like,
mirrors there. Put
that's
them
why you
on,
have a
try it.
display. If it was about the glasses and you being able to see, then you would only have one style of glasses.
Mhm.
But for marketing's sake, you have a variety, a myriad of different glasses. You have the whole display counter that are full of different brands. And then for people who are into names, you have Ralph Lauren glasses, Coco Chanel, Prada glasses, and whatever else that they have.
Mhm. Since we're talking about glasses and the display case, the display case is a business. All the stands that the glasses are sitting on, a business. So I mean, you guys, like, what we're trying to do here is to get you is to encourage you guys to start looking at the world and start thinking about the world differently. We're not telling you how to think. We just want you to think. Pay attention. Think about when you're driving down the highway. How many times have you drove down the highway and you sitting in a construction zone? Now think about this. Look at all them cones that you see. And sometimes them cones stretch for miles. Well, that's a business. Like, somebody thought about producing a cone, and somebody thought about mass producing these cones, and somebody thought about grabbing these cones and selling them to construction companies that need these cones. Somebody thought about the paint lines that's on the highway or the or street, whatever. Somebody had to develop the material that would be almost weather resistant to withstand being driven on all day, every day. You had to get a lab involved. That's a business. You had to develop the chemicals. So you have to develop all these sources to develop the chemicals to produce that paint. Those are businesses. Then you had to then you had to put it on the ground. You had to put somebody out there to paint the road. That's a business. You have to train them. So now you need to hire a trainer. You need the machine to do it. Like, all these businesses built around this one entity of just simply putting paint on the ground, but all these other businesses was built around it. So I'm just trying to get you guys, well, we're trying to get you guys to really dig deep and think about that. Everything that you see, the TV, it's a hell of a business. All these networks that exist, all these networks trying to get you to go out and buy Gucci and all these other brands, Mac makeup and all that's going on. Think about that.
In essence, the most important factor is that you have to take into consideration that there's a reason why things exist. There's a reason why we do the things that we do. And there are people who are very much dedicated to development of ideas to separate you from your money.
Yes, they actually have dedicated. research teams. A lot of these big giant organizations, they have dedicated research teams that do nothing but study the livelihood and expenditures of certain demographics so that they can then take all that research that they've gathered, bring it back to home base and develop products and services and develop commercials and figure out what type of colors and all that they need to use to get you to separate you from your money.
Yeah, I mean, and one of the most important things that I think about when it comes down to the concept of business and it comes down to the things that we don't know about business is that you don't always know that you're being sold something. You don't know and you don't realize just how deep it is that you are being sold something. A lot of the times we wake up and we think that a lot of the ideas that we have are our own. We don't understand that when you go out and you go commit crime or you go do certain things, somebody has already accounted for you. That's why they have a whole system in place. That's why they have a whole judicial system and a whole means of penalizing people for the behaviors that they exhibit. That's why you have a whole music industry that promotes the behavior. That's why you have so many different components of things that promote these negative behaviors, whether it be the movies, whether it be the music, whether it be any other source of entertainment. These things are art that are visuals of some people's real lived experience. And trust and believe, if they're making movies about it, they already have something in place for it.
You said something, Mike.
Go ahead.
You don't know when you're being sold to. There's this saying, and it's actually a book, and I had to do the research because I remember reading it years ago. And it's by Grant Cardone. And the book is called Sell or Be Sold. And the book is basically about learning how to develop the mindset to be a business and to develop your products and services to be able to sell to people so that you are not being sold to, and to recognize what you just said, recognize when you're being sold to. So I think that's a great read for anybody that really wants to delve deep and really understand this side of it, and to really understand how or the psychology behind selling and trying to extract money from you. I think that's a great start, because
I
that was a
mean, it's
good
like
book.
even just the sheer thought process of how the grocery stores are structured. That if you're
Oh
going to
yeah,
go get milk, that you have to go past all this other stuff.
all the aisles.
Milk and eggs and the refrigerated goods are all the way to the back. So
Hmm.
knowing that that's what you're going to get, the poultry and beef and pork and everything are over in this section, and then the produce is all the way over here in this section. So you always have to go far and wide throughout the store to be able to find things that you need. And it's always set up that way strategically to ensure that you are going to see something that you can use. And to me, it's like it's an amazing situation, yet it's also a situation that I really truly feel that we as a consumer culture don't necessarily understand all the time.
Yeah, we don't pay attention, completely oblivious to it, because that's not in our forefront. That's not in our forefront. Like, we just want to go in there and just get milk, but they just don't think about the process of that milk is strategically put over there for a reason. And by the time you done got to that milk, you done probably picked up about 7, 8, 9, 10 more items. And then you got to and then you got to make your way all the way back to the front. You know what? I done passed these Chips Ahoy's twice. Let me go ahead and grab it. Let me throw it in the cart. Then they get you right at the register too. It's jam packed with pop and candy and beef jerky and all that. So now they getting you at the impulse buy. So it's all strategic.
I mean, there's all these different nuances to the concept of marketing and how the game is played and what these things are intended to do. It's just a matter of really coming to the realization, the fact that There's nothing new under the sun. There's no original ideas under the sun. It's just repackaged and repurposed a lot of the times. And
Yep.
that's why I mentioned about the spectrum between understanding what a business is, understanding why things are the way they are, but more so understanding the vast variety of how things are. That is not just a one size fits all system. Instead, it's a situation whereas you have to look and put yourself into a position to understand that you have a cold, they got a drug for that. You can't sleep, they got a drug for that. Got foot pain, they got a drug for that.
Mm-hmm.
Headache, they got a drug for that. There's always something. You're a little jittery and you can't focus on something. Oh, you know they got some drugs for that.
Yeah, you dry, we got products for that.
We got everything. Skin ashy, no problem. We got is that natural cure? No, but we got this. We got something that's reoccurring expense that's going to ensure that we're going to make a lifetime custom out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And that alone is one of those situations to where we have to really understand the fact that this life that we live is not as cut and dry as one may assume. Really, what it boils down to is something very simple. Everything is a business. When you walk down the street, you walk into Walgreens, you walk anywhere that you go, there's literally something that is there that is trying to tempt you to separate you from your finances. That's it. That's the post. Everything is a business.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. This is a business. Speaking of that, shameless plug, donate some money. I'm joking.
My Cash App is.
No, but seriously, it's like every aspect of what people do has a reason for it. There's no shame in the understanding that if it's an idea that somebody came up with, there's $1 to be made off of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
yes, sir.
So if you came up with an idea and said, hey, I like to cook and I want to see myself do it on a professional level, guess what? There's nothing stopping you from doing it at all.
Culinary art school.
Not even culinary art school. Screw culinary arts. Just go start a business. Start an LLC. Just go get started. If I think that I'm already good enough at cooking, go put it to the test in the market.
Mm-hmm.
Period. That's how things operate.
I mean, it's plenty people. I've been in a barbershop plenty of times where the people coming around selling plates. Absolutely. You're right.
There are people outside
Mm-hmm.
who sell ribs and barbecue and stuff right off the side of the road all the time. Baked beans and everything that you could just find is at random.
Snow cones, what they
snow,
scoop the snow and
whatever.
squirt
They
the
didn't
little
go-
juice.
Nobody went to culinary art school to learn how to make snow
The
cones.
snow cones.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody got up one day and just said, like, yo, I'm finna go down here and I'm finna stand outside and I'm gonna be known as the snow cone person. That's what I'm gonna do. That's gonna be my thing. When we were coming up, what we had? We had the candy house.
Mm-hmm.
You go get the fruities, the chews, and all the
Yeah.
different. Somebody decided that was going to be their thing. I remember when I was in the hundreds, there was a specific candy house that every time I got a couple of pieces of money, we was over there. It's like they used to have the greatest cookies. I swear, I love them.
What? Them cookies was banging, dog.
Yeah, because they would bake the cookies right there in the house.
Banging.
And it's just like, man, you go down there, you go make your money and stuff. And it's like, obviously, the world is a scarier place than it used to be. So you ain't just going inside nobody's house.
Right. Way different world back then, man. But yeah, she had the crock pot for the cheese ready to go for your
with the
tacos.
Over the hot flames.
Yes, dog. Yes.
Like my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
We were so unhealthy.
Yes. And then she knew to separate, like she would buy the big bags of fruities and to separate them all because she knew everybody liked their own flavors.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
so I want so many of these, many of these.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, okay, remember the little cookies? The little wafer cookies.
The little wafers, yes, sir.
I think they stopped making them.
Man.
Anyway,
The oatmeal cookies with the white frosting.
You see what we doing? Y'all see? You see what we doing? We free advertising childhood memories and trying to send y'all out to the store to go get fatter. But this is the point. It's like when you take it to the open market and you just go and see what you can do, that's how businesses run.
Yes.
Somebody said, hey, there's money to be made in housing criminals. There's somebody that said there's money to be made in housing criminals because we can get them to do artisan style work for a fraction of the cost that we can turn around and go sell the furniture and the license plates or whatever it is that they create inside of those facilities for massively more markup than what it costs to produce them. And these guys are making 45 cents a day, if that, to go and work in the wood shop area to make massive amounts. Like some of the most beautiful stuff that you see on the market in the furniture store was made by a convict. And you'll never know.
And if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on it because I don't remember the facts. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe Victoria's Secret was using the convicts to create their products.
I can't confirm or deny, but I won't put it past.
I'm gonna look it up and see if it. I heard that years ago. I never actually researched it, but that's what I heard.
Come on, man, put some sauce on them rails, brother.
I'm gonna put some sauce on it.
Don't talk about it. Come on, we are the fact check show. This is what we do. All right, so I got to go in some of these comments real quick. First and foremost, there's no such thing as coming late to the Extraordinary Men podcast. We absolutely love the fact that y'all took the time to make time for us in this thing that we do. We love it. We appreciate it. You guys showing up at any point in time in the show. It is just amazing to know that we got people that actually care about this content and things that we have to say.
Mike,
what's up?
It's true.
It's true. Listen, Brittany posted up right here. She said, yeah, they were at one point.
Yeah, it's true, dog, in the 90s.
Oh.
Hold on. JC Penney too.
Oh. Every place that I didn't shop, but still.
Wow.
Nah, but let's go through some of these comments real quick. All right, so go to Walgreens, you will see a man's life in a single aisle. Condoms, pregnancy
tests.
Yeah, I
saw that. That's hilarious.
And at the end, alcohol.
Alcohol at the end.
Oh, Lord, that's crazy.
Man.
Say, or just grit your teeth and deal. All right, so we'll skip past the sorry I came late. So, yeah, you do want to take the opportunity given. I mean, a lot of the times you got to think about situations as far as who thought of this? Putting glue on behind some little square pieces of
paper. I think 3M did. Hold on, let's see.
But my point is, like, these things here, to some of us, are life-changing things, and all it is some glue. Bro, I got cat hair on the back of these. Like, it's just glue on a colorful piece of paper, and yet it is one of the most important aspects of my life when it comes to remembering what I got to do from day to day.
Art Fry and Spencer Silver created the Post-it note, and I honestly believe it was built out of memento.
I mean,
I truly believe it was built out of somebody that has memento.
I mean, no matter what, no matter what the situation was specifically, the one thing I could say for sure, if I can't say anything else, is the fact that somebody thought of something. Who thought to say, "Hey, let me make a little bag to put little stuff in. Let's just make this little cute little bag, and somebody's gonna figure out something to put inside of it."
Here we go. Who created the Ziploc?
Right, somebody created this, and it's like, hey. And then somebody went and grabbed the bag and said, hey, let's put an actual zipper on it.
Jorge Madsen. 1951. Dude, it ain't even been around that long. It's only been around since 51.
Say, I remember once reading that they used to write things in their hands, and that's what prompted the Post-it. I mean, the thing is that no matter what the situation is, somebody created it, which was great. and then somebody said, let's turn this into a business and introduce it to the world.
You know what's so fantastic about the Post-it, or that I find remarkable and interesting about it, is that we have all the latest technology, phones, tablets, supercomputers now. Apple has the M2 chip and all that, and a Post-it note is still dominating. I find that interesting.
Let me tell you something.
Regular pen and paper
Let me tell you
still
something.
dominating.
I wish I had my whole arsenal of everything that I use on a daily basis. All right, here we go. Memo pad.
Memo pads, yes,
I don't
still
care. I
dominating.
don't care how much cellular technology that you give me, it will go inside of my cell phone, never to be seen again on Earth.
Calendar books. Hold on. Calendar books, brand new this year, 2023, and it is still popular,
writing
dog.
every single monthly
Yes, dog.
bill I got inside of one of them
Yes,
to this
dog.
day.
Yes, still popular.
I don't care how much. Welcome to the future. You can listen. If the AI ain't finna pay the bill for me, I'm good. If the AI ain't finna figure out a creative way to pay the bill on my behalf, I think I'll be all right with the pen and paper. And even yet and still is like the vast array of different things that we have. Like you had from the overall invention of fire to the match to the lighter. Then you have the long stem lighter that you use to light up charcoal and other things. Like you got flamethrowers. I mean, everything that is bent off of the concept of fire. The different forms of charcoal or butane or octane or these different forms of tane to flammable, combustible stuff.
Yeah, then the products that was built out, you know what I'm saying, around the fire. So you got fire pits, you got grills, you got the pistons inside of an engine, stoves. You got all these different products that was built around fire. You know, business. Everything is a business.
You know, and then even transitioning from the old way of stoves to where they were gas stoves to having the electric stoves and stuff to now where you have, instead of having the eyes of the stoves, you have the little heating things underneath the little glass
Oh,
top.
the ceramic top.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the elevation of finding safer ways to accommodate. What only
It's almost
difference
like
is,
induction.
yeah. Well, the only thing that's different is that you can't light up a cigarette off the stove no more.
Yeah, they did take that away. They did kill that for people, the loose square people.
Oh, Luke Squares. Say, I would like for the AI to generate the money to pay the bill, not paying it for you.
Yeah.
No, I want to pay it for me.
So check this out. So I'm finna throw you some game, Jose. So you have this Chat GPT, Open AI. You can check out Open AI, and basically what it is it allows you to connect different bots to produce a product, and it's all AI. You can also go to Zapier, Zapier. You can go to Zapier, and it's basically along the same lines of being able to use Open API or API code to put together different products to produce a product. It's dope.
I'm mad you telling him about it. You ain't telling me
And
about it. I
and
talk to you every
open
day.
it's dope. I got you, Mike. Open AI. Uh, so basically, it's all you do is type in, "Hey, write me a grant," and it will give you. It will literally type it out for you and give you tips, or even a starter page on how to get your grant started. Or you can tell it, write me a game where a mouse tries a cat tries to catch a mouse, and the mouse can use a hammer or whatever, and it'll write the game for you, dog. It's crazy.
Technology is too cool for me.
Yes, dog. So yeah, so you got Open AI, you got Zapier. Those are the two that I know of for sure, and I'm pretty sure there's lots more. But being able to So there's this product called um you got Service Fusion, which is like a field service tech app. You also have Asana. I'm pretty sure you heard of a Monday. You got Monday.com, Asana. Like all of that is like built off open AI. Well, all they did was create links to be able to communicate to other products that already exist, and they packaged it as their own product, and then you pay for it to be able to use it. It's dope.
He said we can send a link to it. He appreciate it. Please and thank
Yeah, I
you.
got you, doc. No problem.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as we start to wrap this thing up, I just want to make sure to let you guys know that we are number one highly appreciative of the fact that you guys took time out of y'all busy schedules to come and spend some quality time with us. We love y'all.
You got to post
And
it for me, Mike.
huh?
You got to post it for me. I just sent it to you in private.
All right. So we just want y'all to know that we love y'all to death for y'all taking time out of y'all busy days just to spend some quality time with us. It's just certain things that we definitely appreciate that as we continue to grow this thing and continue to train this thing to become what we need it to be, that all of the participation that you guys give us, it really makes the difference for where we go, how we go. Obviously, you guys' comments and participation really helps out as well because it lets us know when we are on the money or when we are just going off on a tangent and we need to slow our breaks down. So thank you guys for that as well. Just know this one thing: when you walk through the store next time, I want you to start looking at the store like, who is this intended to target? When you drink wine or you drink beer, what is it about this that was meant to get me to spend money on it? Instead of me going to go buy the whole fruit, they went and chopped up the fruit in the back of the store. Why does this appeal to me more than just doing it myself? Why does it appeal to me more to just go and buy the pizza from Pizza Hut or from Papa John's or wherever it is I get my pizza from versus sitting down and actually hooking it up and making it myself?
Mm-hmm.
Very easy questions to ask yourself as far as why are certain things marketed? Why am I attracted to certain things? When you start looking inward to understand that there's a whole engineering process that goes into every aspect of what you do, you will understand a little bit more about yourself and it will give you a greater, freer thought process as far as understanding what you need and don't need. So I can look at my money a lot differently when I don't make something when I don't make it a culture. So the convenience of being able to allocate the time to other priorities. You know, I can agree with
I'm
that, and
all about buying time. I'm all about buying time.
I can agree with that, and I can also call it an excuse at the same time. However, for the sake of time, I won't delve too deep into it. I'll just say that certain things do qualify as purchasing your time back or buying your time back, and other things are just downright lazy. But that is dealt with on a situation by situation basis. So, getting the food service to deliver your food to you, deliver your meals to you so that you can work more hours and you don't have to worry about coming home to cook. For some people, that works. But for somebody with a family to where that's the only time that you really have for bonding because of the busy schedule and stuff like that, that type of thing may not suffice. You're prioritizing the wrong priority rather than the family. But again, that's all based on the circumstances. So somebody would also say, okay, well, what do you say about people who meal prep to save time? Well, again, case by case basis. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to put something on your mind and make you think about. But anyway, guys, do you have any last words for the people? Midas with the king in front of it.
Midas with the king in front of it, man. That was it, man. We just wanted to bring everybody here today to let everybody know that everything around you is a business and to hopefully get you to start thinking about, how to maneuver through this whole capitalistic country that we live in, start thinking about things differently. You could sell anything, socks. I mean, Hanes specializes in draws, blank T-shirts, socks, you name it. So I mean, anything and everything that you think of is a business. Shoes, hell, they even sell oxygen in a can at the pharmacies now. Everything is a business, dog. So there should be no limit to your thought process. There should be no limit to being able to visualize and see opportunities and build something for yourself. That's it. Just open your mind, think, look around.
And
Trees. People
also
throw trees
know,
in the ground.
and also know that certain behaviors that you do, the liquor business, the cigarette business, the marijuana business, the drug business, no matter what situation it is, the back pain business, every aspect, they got something for you. And the goal is to keep you coming back. So you want to get up and run to the doctor for every single thing, I guarantee you they got more than enough medicine to ensure that you're going to keep coming back. Anyway, that's my time. All right, it's Phil Jones, Mike Jones. Have y'all know me personally, professionally, and y'all know the co-host is with the mostest, Midas with the king in front of it. Thank you guys for y'all time, and peace.